on yellow and green the same order you would as if they were different colors.
I should have been. It's a different color. So I'm sitting in the middle of the building. They said except that's how it's
Do you guys not know where you sit from week to week? Are you two switch?
One.
Let's switch.
Who's over there by the sink? Come sit down.
They're in the
Get a
wrong
tissue,
spot.
come sit. Go! Is there a girl that sits between you two guys?
I don't know. It's Wally and Brianna.
How come,
You go up there.
I sit.
where do you sit?
I sit down here, but they're.
Well, where do you guys sit?
You sit here.
Where do you sit?
Over here. I sit in the middle.
Go where you're supposed
They're
to be.
supposed to be over. Brianna sits over
You.
here.
Sit here. Molly, sit there. Shouldn't be a big problem. Okay. We have, because of the PTO is doing things in the gym, we had to have Jim in here with the music classes. I'm sorry about that. And I'm thinking that the hats need to come off and go over here by the door. How about if one person collects them and puts them over there? Just stick them on the floor there, right there, in front of the sink. You can get them when we're finished. Miss,
I think we can find
Isaac, get your hat off. Go put it over by the door. Let's go. Now, some of you have met Miss Fox.
Yeah.
Some of you have not. Who has already met Miss Fox? Okay, hands down. She's from the Mount Vernon Nazarene University. She's here to learn how to teach music. She's in her last stages of getting her degree so she can get a job and teach music. She has to do some lessons for a grade. You need to help her to get a good grade. You need to be on your very, very best behavior. If she asks a question, you raise your hand. Wait till she points, because she doesn't know names yet. She just met you. She hasn't even really met you. So please, do the very best you can for her. She needs your help. Okay.
Okay, today I want to talk to you about the instruments in the orchestra. Oh, it's exciting, right? You all look thrilled, thank you. Okay, so when I say the word orchestra, what does it make you think of? Raise your hand.
It makes me feel about kind of like Christmas.
Like Christmas? Okay, I can see that.
It makes me think of a parade.
A parade? Not so much. I don't think I've seen very many people marching in parades playing violins.
Pretty much a bunch of people just playing a bunch of instruments.
Okay, we're getting somewhere. A bunch of people playing a bunch of instruments. How about over here?
Music.
Music. They're playing music on instruments.
A band.
A band. It's a little bit different than a band. We're going to talk about a little bit of that today. Okay, let's do two more.
I think I'm
A whale?
a whale.
know-
Big.
When I was talking to the second graders about this last week, one of them said it made him think of a whale. I don't understand.
Orca.
Oh, orca. Okay. Okay, that makes sense now, orca. All right, last one.
Making music with instruments.
All right, music and instruments. That's about what the second grade came up with. We're getting somewhere though. Okay, so the orchestra has 4 families. Did you know that?
No.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, can anyone tell me who any of the families are? Wind? That you're close. You're close. There are two that are wind instruments. But you're really close. That's really good.
Violin.
That's a specific instrument, it's not a family. One more guess? Do I have another one?
String.
Strings! Oh my gosh, you're great. That's exactly what I wanted. First family is the string family. And I actually brought one of those to show you. Do you know what this is? Violin? Do you want me to play it?
Yes.
Okay, you're not allowed to make fun of me if I'm really bad. 'Cause-
Got it.
okay. You promise?
Yes.
No!
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually,
Actually, I don't know if I could play a scale last week. I don't know if I ever want to do it now. Maybe. It's supposed to sound something like
sounds
that.
like the Three Stooges.
Well, they can probably play a violin better than I can.
Can you sing Jingle Bells?
Oh, no, it's not time for singing.
Oh, I wish. Maybe Jingle Bells. I learned mine from a trumpet.
So the violin is kind of small, right?
Yeah.
Right? Do you know of another instrument that looks kind of like the violin, but that's bigger?
Guitar.
Oh!
I don't know.
Like a bass? Okay, that looks a lot like a violin, but that's a lot bigger. I'm talking one. It's
I know.
maybe
All the way.
about this long.
Oh.
I'll take one more guess.
A trumpet?
A trumpet. A trumpet doesn't look like a violin. Thank you for guessing though.
I know what it is. A guitar.
It's not a guitar. That's not a.
I thought it was one of those big ukulele.
I have a picture to show you.
What is it?
Oh, that's the violin. That's the wrong picture.
Yeah.
And it's called a viola. Okay, this one is called the viola. It looks exactly like the violin, doesn't it? Yeah, I think so too. The thing about that is, it's just a teensy bit bigger. And it reads different notes. See, you see what I'm talking about? They look exactly the same, don't they? This one is bigger. This one is bigger, and it reads different notes. It plays some lower notes too. I don't have one with me. I don't have big enough hands to carry all the instruments that I wanted to bring to show you. But maybe some other time I'll bring a viola and I can show you. I didn't bring a trumpet with me. Okay, so the violin, that's the one I just played for you. And then there's the viola. What's the difference? Thank you, you're great. All right, the next one is called cello. Doesn't it look the same? What is up with this? How are you supposed to tell all these instruments apart? Raise hands, please. It's bigger. Do you know how much bigger this one is?
Huge.
Along this much.
It's pretty darn big. It's, if I would stand it on the floor, it would probably come up to about here.
So
No,
the thing is,
that's a little bit. That's a little high.
I wonder how big it is. It's probably
So that's the cello. The cello plays deeper notes. It's a really pretty sound. Maybe I'll bring you a cello eventually. I don't know if I'm ready. Okay, so the cello. Everyone say it. Doesn't it make you feel, seeing cello, doesn't it kind of make you feel like, kind of know what you're talking about? Yeah, doesn't it? I think so.
It sounds like
Bring it back in. Bring it back in. The quieter you are, the faster we can get through this stuff, okay? Alright, this one is the bass. It looks the same, doesn't it? This one is gigantic.
It's bigger. It's bigger than
It's-
you.
Yeah, it is bigger than me. I can't play it. I took a class on how to play these instruments. They wouldn't let me use this one because it literally stands like up here. It's really, really big. And this one plays really deep notes, like all the notes that are on the piano that are like way down here.
That's scary.
Those ones, those are the ones that this guy plays. Okay. So what family is this? This side of the room, what family is this? Strings. Okay.
That was scary.
It was scary. Okay. Does anyone have a guess for another family?
Percussion.
Percussion. Good job. Okay.
I have no idea what that is. Stick that you rub across the thread. That's the violin.
This is the stick that you pull across the string. It's called a bow. Everyone say bow.
Bow.
What's this for?
That's my bow.
What's this for?
Shooting deer.
Good. You pull it across the string.
Shooting deer.
This one's not for shooting deer. That's
No, it's put in your hair. Ah. That'll be big.
okay. So the percussion family.
Great. What did you get?
We're only going to talk about one member of the percussion family today. Don't look. The words are everywhere.
Drum.
What'd you say?
Drum.
Did you say timpani? Did you see the word?
Timpani.
Oh, you cheater.
You
Okay.
just don't said it.
Sorry. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Okay, the timpani drum. This one's really cool. Are those actually timpani drums over there? Okay.
Where?
Under those covers over there. They're really big drums.
We'll look at
Most
it
of the
next
time-
week. Have a seat.
Most of the time there's like 4 of them and someone stands in a semicircle so they can play all of them.
Yeah.
And
I've seen
they're the only kind of actual drums that have a real pitch. Like they have real notes. So that's kind of cool. And they have pedals so you can make them play different notes. And sometimes when people that write music are trying to be funny, you can hit it and you slam the pedal down and it goes boom when you're trying to play it. I have a sound clip for you of the timpani actually. If my phone will play it loud enough. You want me to play it again?
Yes.
I didn't realize. Okay, so when we hear the timpani drum, so I'm gonna play it for you again. I want you to sit up real straight. Sit up, not stand up. And you're gonna go. Okay? So what kind of drum is that? Timpani. Okay, everyone say it together. Timpani. Good job. All right. There's 2 more families left. Any more guesses?
Trumpet. No.
Starts with a W.
I'm not
You're close. You have a guess?
Window.
Someone said wind. This family is called the woodwind family.
Oh, I was gonna say wind. I said wind.
I said wind, but
I have
it's
another
the...
one. Yes.
Hold on, we're going to talk about the woodwinds for a second.
I was gonna say window.
It's the woodwind family. Everyone say woodwind.
Wind.
You know,
On to the next
do you have an example of a woodwind instrument?
A trumpet. Flute. A drum.
A drum? No, drum's percussion.
That?
No, that's the last family we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I need hands.
Flute.
A flute. Good job. A flute is a woodwind instrument, and it's the first one we're going to talk about.
Bring one.
Don't look at this little one. We're not going to talk about the little one
It's
today.
clarinet.
This-
It's clarinet.
this
I
is
know
not
it's
the clarinet.
dang it. Yeah.
This big one, the big silver one, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. It's called the flute.
I know the next one.
Everyone say flute.
Flute.
All right.
That is
I need you to be quiet for me. Okay. So here's the flute. Oh. so what does the flute make you think of? All right, close. So it makes me think of birds. Doesn't it? Doesn't it make you think of birds? I need you to pay attention. Okay, so when we hear the flute, I want you to tuck your arms in real close, and then we're gonna go like this. We're gonna pretend to be birds when we hear the flute. Okay, stop being birds. Be third graders again. There's a couple more woodwinds we have to talk about first. But you can guess first for the next family, okay?
I already know it.
All right. So what instrument was that? Trumpet. You really want to get to, you know, we're not actually going to talk about the trumpet at all today.
What does anyone like the trumpet? Please get right.
Okay, so what instrument was that? It was the flute. Good. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is the oboe. Not the elbow, not the hobo. It's the oboe. Everyone say oboe. Oboe. Okay. So on this picture, it's this little one over here.
What's the big one?
Big one we're not going to talk about. I don't want to mix it up. It's this little one over here. That's the oboe.
It looks like Mr. Bobo.
So the oboe is also a woodwind instrument.
Hobos play the hobos, not one.
I mean, if that helps you remember it, you can say that hobos play oboes. I don't know if they would.
Hobos have little. Get money. Yeah, I think it's hobos.
Okay. You need to listen because I'm going to play the oboe for you, okay?
It seems deeper.
It does play lower than the flute does. So, let me think for a second. When we hear the oboe, and you just sit up straight again, sit up tall, put your hands down here, and when we hear the oboe, we're going to go.
Yeah, sounds like that guy that makes a snake comes out of that basket.
What? A little bit.
Yeah.
Don't you have a rule about not touching each other?
Yes. Huh? No. Yes. What our rules are? Yes, we knock this out. So we can't talk now.
I need you to pay attention. We have a lot more instruments that we got to get through. So, what was the first family that we talked about? Strings. Did we come up with a movement for strings? No. I knew I forgot something.
No, listen to this.
Let's play violin.
Yes, I hear it.
When we hear the strings, let's play violin. I tell you what, you cannot feel cooler than when you're playing violin. Even holding one makes me feel like I'm the most awesome person in the world. Okay. What was the second instrument that we talked about?
String.
Ah, this one I have my hands for. It was the percussion family. Do you know? It starts with a T. No! We're not going to talk about the trumpet today. You got a trumpet in everyone's head.
I didn't hear trumpet.
Timpani drum. What's our movement for timpani drum? Be third graders. What was the first woodwind instrument that we talked about? Okay, you lost. It was the flute. You need to be quiet. What's our movement for flute? I need all of you to be birds with me. Be birds. Oh, be seated birds. All right, be third graders. You get 2 of that one. All right. What was the oboe? What was our movement for oboe? Okay, be third graders again. Focus. You're doing a great job, thank you. All right, this one's my favorite instrument. It's not the tuba. Okay, so don't look at this big one over here. I know, we can talk about it later, but not today. This is the bassoon, the small one over here.
The baboon?
Not the baboon. The bassoon. Everyone say bassoon. Bassoon. Now, this is my favorite instrument in the entire orchestra. I started playing it when I was in the 7th grade, and it is one of my favorites.
Why don't you play it now then?
I didn't have enough hands to bring it with me.
We'll get more hands.
More hands? I don't know if
Roll
like.
your feet. Roll it on your feet. Maybe it does. That's possible.
Okay, so what's this one called? You're doing a great job. Okay, here's the bassoon. I'm gonna be quiet because it's not very loud. Hey, quiet down. Okay, so for the bassoon, I want you to stand up. And for the bassoon, I don't want you to stomp and be loud and obnoxious because that's not cool, okay? But for the bassoon, we're gonna go. Okay, quiet, right. All right, sit back down. What was that one called? We're going to talk about one more woodwind instrument. Does anyone want to guess what it is? We already talked about the flute. The trumpet is not a woodwind instrument.
I know it's
You get to guess the next family.
What's Sula?
Do you know?
Guitar?
No.
She knows.
Starts with a C.
Clarinet.
Yes!
Oh,
that's
what Squidward plays.
That is what
I'm
Squidward
playing
plays.
the clarinet.
You have a question?
It's the tiny one.
It's the little one, right?
Why is it small?
These are the higher instruments. The big ones, those tend to play a lot of the lower notes. Like when we talked about the double bass earlier. I need you to have quiet mouths for me. So the clarinet is this little one over here. Does anyone know anyone that plays the clarinet?
Squidward!
That works. I meant like a brother or sister.
Yes.
Right?
I plays the clarinet. I don't want to. Mrs. Campbell does.
I feel like everyone plays the clarinet.
I do. I know Mrs. Campbell does. My brother. No, Squidward does.
You need to be quiet because I'm going to play the clarinet for you and you're not going to be able to hear it. And then you're going to be sad because the clarinet is great. Here's the clarinet. right, that was the
That
clarinet.
sounds like SpongeBob.
Maybe. Listen. Okay, so for the clarinet, we're gonna stand up again. Get up. You can sit down. Hey, you need to be quiet. Okay, so for the clarinet, you know what the clarinet makes me think of? Especially that. I mean, maybe, but that's not what I was going for. It makes me think of cats.
What?
The clarinet makes me get up. The clarinet makes me think of cats. And especially like what it was playing right there that I played for you, that really makes me think of cats. So we're gonna pretend to be cats. Okay, so you're gonna step real quiet and pretend kind of like you're sneaking up on Hey! Boys, you're not supposed to do that. Okay. These are cats that don't touch things. Okay. So what are we gonna do when we hear the clarinet? Now, these are quiet cats, they don't meow either. Or okay, be third graders again. Third grade, you need to stop talking to me. Hey, will you sit up on that riser, please? Okay, last family. Brass! Yes! You are smart. We're only going to talk about one instrument in the brass band. Quiet. I can stand here all day until you just say okay. This is the one that we're going to talk about that's in the brass band. Who said it's a French horn?
I said
You
it's
two are just awesome.
I said a horn.
You were close. It's a French horn. I don't really know exactly why it's French. Was it made in France?
Kicking it.
I don't
It
know.
looks like a
I don't either.
horn, and it's
probably started
in France.
Do you want me to make sound?
Yeah.
I can't really play this one either.
I was in France. Oh, that's cool too.
She can play it.
Oh, I know. She
Do you wanna play it?
Play.
Okay, Miss Fox, I'll play it.
Thank you.
I can just make sound. I can't really make it do what it's supposed to.
Okay.
Well, there's a part missing.
Reminds me of
Is there?
Yeah.
What? That was in there the other day.
That's the reason why I won't play.
I thought it sounded weird. Hold on.
Stick your finger in it.
Stay right there.
I see some marker. What's in it, puppy?
Why are y'all staring at me?
Search the floor. Search.
I found it.
Yay! That is a slide.
This French
And the slide has, the air goes through all these different pipes depending on which button you press.
So that's why she can't play very good.
So, yeah, the air would go through
Yeah,
the way it's supposed
That's the
to.
reason I can't play the French horn.
Maybe had a little lamb.
That's the reason that I wasn't very good at the French horn.
Now
was
you
because
try.
that
Now you
slide was
try.
missing. Well,
I
okay.
have a question. Make it taste
Which
better.
question?
Why do you stick your hand in the...
There are some really advanced techniques that professional French horns will do, where you actually have to like stick your hand all the way in here, and it completely changes the pitch. And then there are some things like you stop notes, which is when you put your entire hand in there.
And in order to play it in tune, you have to put your hand in a little bit.
Yeah. And there's not really I think this is also the most comfortable way to hold it. I think this feels kind of awkward. But
Well, the main reason is for pitch.
You try it.
I can't do anything like she can. I can make it sound kind of like an elephant, but that's nothing like it.
Because that's what a beginner sounds like.
Okay, lie down, Gregory. Okay, I know that I just talked about it being an elephant, but that's not really what the French horn makes me think of. The French horn makes me think of
An animal. An elephant.
no, not an elephant. Starts with a W. I should have known they were gonna stick with like the Hey, third grade. Thank you. French horn makes me think of wolves. No, not werewolves. It just makes me think of wolves. So how can we be wolves? No, how can we be silent wolves? Stay seated, stay upright.
I'm not standing up. I'm on my right here.
You sit down all day.
Like this.
Okay, how about for wolves? We go like this.
Like a vampire.
Hey, what did you do? You be sad. I'm gonna play you a sound clip of French horns because I think it sounds cool, and I can't play it. Third grade.
Enough.
Now do you kind of see why it makes me think of wolves? No. Okay, third grade. Let's go over this one more time, all right? First one we talked about, there's the strings, the strings family. So that's the violin, viola, cello, bass. Good, that's the strings family. So what are we going to do when we hear strings? Everyone do it. We're going to pretend like we're playing the violin. You are all awesome violin players. Except for you, Sharon. Play violin. Hey. Thank you. Okay, then we talked about what kind of drum. I want hands. Percussion, that's what the family is. What's the actual name of the drum?
Bass.
No. There is a bass drum, but that's not the one we talked about. Oh, you have the right letter right. First letter. Think about it for a second. No. Start with the T. No. Good. You let other people answer the question. Okay, good
was a guy's name with a penny on the end.
So who remembers what we're gonna do when we hear timpani?
Bring in a heart. Can you bring a heart?
That harp's way too big for me to try to bring.
Bring in the heart.
Everyone play your timpani drums.
Bring the heart.
While you're seated. Okay, stop playing your timpani drums. What was the next one we talked about?
The woodwind.
Woodwind, that's the family, right? What's the first instrument?
Flute.
Oh!
Flute.
Very rotten.
Clarinet and piece of wood.
No. Flute. What are we doing for flute? I just gave it to you. We're gonna pretend to be birds. Everyone be birds. Be birds. Okay, be third graders. Yes. What are we gonna do with the oboe? Yep. Very good. Hey.
No, act like a hobo.
Okay. I think you got the woodwind instruments. So what was the last one we talked about?
Clarinet.
No. What was the last family we
Brass.
talked about?
Brass.
Brass. You need to work on your raising your hands. Get excited. What's the instrument in the brass?
That thing.
That thing, what's it called?